Okay, we finally got to this one. This is the Dynamite review. This is the one I was waiting for, and this was the one that certainly got a lot of buzz outside of the Deonna Purrazzo debut. Um, Konosuke Takeshita versus Darby Allin. The match itself, I mean, let's call it what it is. Like this was tremendous, and I said on Twitter, I think for a first time match, like the chemistry between these two, absolutely incredible. When you just think about the dynamic, right? You've got huge Takeshita, just kind of playing, the big man role here, but of course doing it in a Takeshita type way where only he can have the skills that he has kind of for the size and everything that he brings to the table. And you've got Darby just bumping off of him and all these different things. You had some incredible sequences early on. Takeshita with the knee to Darby on the out. So Darby makes the dive to the outside, and Takeshita just knees him. That was such an insane sequence to see that, and just the pop. Like you felt it, right? You're watching it, you felt that. Just how incredible kind of that sequence was there. And then, of course, you had the rolling German suplex on the ramp after that from Takeshita, takes him up, rolls him down with the German suplex, just throwing Darby all over the place. He had a great near fall in the match with, Darby hitting the Canadian Destroyer on Takeshita. And sort of the story was that Darby was not going to give up, even though Takeshita just kept taking it to him. But finally, Takeshita, with, of course, the brutal knee, gets it done. Just nails Darby right in the face with it for the win. The bigger story here is not just the fact that Takeshita won this match, because I think as soon as it was set up, you sort of felt that way, that he was going to win the match. But the bigger story here is Takeshita himself. And, you remember back to All In last year, everybody was talking about it. Like you get a pinfall win over a Kenny Omega and what that means for your career. Since that point, I can't say the follow through has been perfect by any means, because kind of like with a lot of AEW talent at times, it's an ebb and a flow. And, the next story kind of takes center stage and you sort of feel like you get pushed to the back burner a little bit. I don't know that AEW did the best job of capitalizing on that with Konosuke Takeshita after the Kenny Omega win. But, match one, it's a new year, fresh start for everyone. If you cannot watch this and see what, Takeshita has as a talent, a special talent, I don't know what to say, because like it was very evident, not just in the match, but something I saw someone else say too. It's like there aren't many Takeshita matches you can probably look at so far in AEW and feel like there was not some level of wow factor, something like that, something similar. And this was again another match where I think you just saw that on display, where it was yet again, it's the wow factor with this guy, and just the skill set is unparalleled, perhaps, in terms of just, again, for someone that has the size that he has, the ability to sort of adapt and do all those things and kind of play off, whoever his opponent is, and whether it's as a face, whether it's as a heel. We've seen him do both in AEW. And yes, like I think there are certainly a lot of positives to the run he's having with Don Callis, having a manager, having someone who can talk him up the way that Callis does, whether it's in an interview setting, whether it's on commentary. He has it. I don't know, whatever you want to describe it as, Konosuke Takeshita has it. And we've seen it so many times now that I think it is very clear, if you're trying to pick a breakout star for 2024 in AEW, there are probably lots of possibilities just based on the fact that it's a huge roster. You can make the case for a lot of different wrestlers. You could some way argue that Takeshita was kind of the breakout star last year, but the way I'm going to kind of angle this is he was maybe a breakout star, certainly in that pack last year, in that group of people that you would put in there. But now I think you're talking about going from someone who comes over, initially has to connect with the audience, has to be able to kind of show them what you're made of, into a new audience, a new viewership. That is the first step, right? Now, to me, it's like the next step is going from, okay, you've established yourself that this is what you are. Everybody sees what is there. They see the potential. They see the star ability that is there with this guy. And now I think it is a matter of going from the first step to turning into a huge mega star type person. And again, when you pin a Kenny Omega, that should, in AEW, you know, words, that should make you a made man, you know, potentially, right? Like that should be what you need. And I think that was when you knew that AEW understood what they had in Konosuke Takeshita. But now what I want to see is I want to see Tony Khan push all the buttons that you need to make him not just one of the breakout stars, make him the breakout star in AEW in 2024 and make him, again, go from someone who you see it, he's not, you know, he's not going to be getting the airtime that MJF is or Adam Cole right now with everything that's going on. Swerve, Wardlow, like Wardlow's part of the Adam Cole thing, but just kind of mentioning who the featured attractions are right now. Christian, is another one. You know, Adam Copeland, Sting, the road to the retirement match, all that. But I think this is the time if you're AEW. And remember, keep in mind, this guy's only 28 years old, I think. I think it's 28. So, yes, you've got plenty of time to do this, but I think this is the year where AEW needs to make Konosuke Takeshita feel like an even bigger part of kind of that next tier of stars that you're building up to be kind of the face of the company. Not saying, you know, that he's going to be someone that all of a sudden is going to rise to the MJF level or anything like that this year. But I do think if you see everything that's there, and remember the wow factor, like every time this guy is in the ring, I just think you get some of that. And the Darby match was a perfect example. Two guys with different sort of styles. How do they mesh together? A first time match. Chemistry was incredible. Maybe you don't get that with every match. But I do think that the Konosuke Takeshita has all the tools you need to make him one of the top stars in AEW this year in 2024. And I'm curious to see if AEW pushes that forward. I would have to think that getting an opening win over Darby Allin on the first Dynamite of the new year is a good sign for Takeshita moving forward. So, yeah, as you can tell, huge on Konosuke Takeshita. And I think he can be the breakout star. Not one of them, the breakout star in AEW in 2024.